girls with their nails done now.
This episode of HTM Tech is brought to you by Rogue Energy. Rogue Energy offers a wide range of products including energy drinks and dietary supplements containing zero sugar, 0 to 5 calories, B vitamins, gluten-free, soy-free, and 100% vegan. Rogue Energy products are a great alternative to those corner store energy drinks that are loaded with sugar and cause you to crash soon after. Head over to rogueenergy.com where viewers of HTM Tech can get 10% off any order placed. Not just your first order, but any time you order. Just use offer code HTM Tech at the checkout to get your discount on one of the hottest energy drink brands on the market. Hey, don't take our word for it. Try it for yourself today.
Hey guys, Joe the Tech Guy back here with another episode this week. For those of you new to the channel, make sure you hit like and subscribe so that you'll get a little notification when new episodes go up. For those of you who have already been around and watching the videos and enjoying, especially the reviews recently, thank you so much for tuning in and watching and liking and subscribing and all that kind of good stuff. Very much appreciated. It helps to kind of bump me up in the algorithms there when you guys like and subscribe, so make sure and do that. Again, thank you so much. This week, we are not doing a hardware review. We are looking at something a little bit different. We're talking a game services subscription. We're talking Apple Arcade. So I'm going to summarize what it's about here. This is essentially Apple's gaming subscription service. Especially if you're in that Apple ecosystem, or if you have an iPhone, an iPad, an iMac, and all that kind of stuff, MacBook, you can play. It's a pretty large library of games. We're up over 200 games now. So whatever device that you're on, you can play the majority of these games across whatever devices you have. I'll kind of get to the other bit of that in a little bit. So yeah, the big good thing right off the hop here, we're talking a large library of games. We're talking about 200 games, and it's growing on a monthly basis, which is pretty cool. The other really big positive with this is that, that's actually twofold here, is we have no ads during the games. If you're somebody who plays a lot of free games on mobile devices, you know that ads and stuff are just all over the place on it, to the point where it's annoying and makes you want to delete them. And another big thing here is we're talking no microtransactions. This is absolutely fantastic. This is something that I have railed on for a long time now. It's even made its way into some AAA console and PC games, and when we're paying $70, $80+ here in Canada for AAA titles, only to then be nickel and dimed for little things to add on to the game, which I am not a fan, never been a fan of, and I think is absolutely ridiculous. So I like with this that you're just paying a flat fee every month, and you get what you get. You're getting access to a whole bunch of games, and you can play them essentially on whatever you want. Most of the games will be available cross-platform. So to kind of touch a few of the main players here, because there's a fair amount of good stuff here. Ninja Turtles game, absolutely really cool kind of third-person action game. Same thing, there's other James Bond. We're talking Pac-Man, Jetpack Joyride, Shovel Knight. Most recently, a very popular one, Sonic Dream Team. Some really kind of cool stuff going on there. So a nice large library that I just touched the tip of the iceberg with that. The amount of content, everything on here is quite impressive. And like I said, it's growing all the time here. Now to kind of break down the pricing for this here, because I think this is a pretty timely thing to be talking about, because I mean we're right on the cusp of the holidays here, and I know that this is something that people are probably looking at gifting for themselves, or maybe a loved one or a friend or whatnot. So let's break down the pricing and what you get for this, because there's a couple of ways that you can go about it. The first thing that you can do is you can just pay. Now I will disclaimer on this, these are Canadian prices, so in the United States they will be a little bit cheaper. So yeah, disclaimer that these are Canadian prices. If you want to just get the Apple Arcade subscription by itself, $8.99 per month is what it is. I think the better value here, and the better way to kind of go about it, is to lump it into the Apple One subscription. So with that, I mean, you're getting iCloud storage, you're getting Apple Music, you're getting Apple Arcade, Apple TV Plus, you're getting a good amount of iCloud storage. Going to some of the higher tiers, you can get Apple Fitness and Apple News. But I think the more popular ones that people will get for this, because like I said, $8.99 per month for what you're getting, it's kind of 50-50 there. Where I think that probably the best value is, if you're just getting it for yourself, the Apple One subscription for, again, this is Canadian pricing, $22.95 per month, which, like I said, gives you Apple Arcade, Apple Music, Apple TV, iCloud storage. Quite a bit there for $22.95 per month. Now, if you want to set up a family plan, you're paying an extra $6 a month, and you can share this with up to 5 family members. So that is a pretty good deal. I think that one, those two are the more popular. There's a premier tier above that, but I think that individual plan and then that family plan is going to be something that most people are going to want to look at. That family plan, like I said, just for another $6 a month, you get to share that with up to 5 family members, which I think is a really, really good value. And it's easy to set up Apple Family Sharing. You just have to send the invite out to the people, and then they have access to the same things that you have, your purchases and your music, the music and all that kind of stuff. It's really, really good. Having said all that, now there are relatively few downsides that I also want to touch on. The first thing that I want to touch on is that there needs to be some more kind of top tier console kind of level games, especially now that the service has jumped up in price a little bit recently, and I think that there needs to be a little bit more value for the content. Still no real killer app, like no game that people are going, hey dude, it's like, you know what, you got to get Apple Arcade for this particular game. That unfortunately does not exist on the system yet, and hopefully over time here, because this has been around for more than a few years now, that they can attract some upper AAA level developer, especially now with the hardware itself being so capable with the new iPhones and the chipsets and those capable of ray tracing, all that kind of crazy stuff. I'm hoping that they can attract, like whether it be like a Naughty Dog or something like that, to make a Apple Arcade exclusive killer app that people go, you got to get it for this one. A couple other things. There are some games that only work on certain Apple devices and not others. Just make the apps universal. And there are some games as well that don't all support a game controller. You know, they made that kind of a big attracting kind of feature there, but not all games support a controller. You know, because the ones that do support it works so well, you can hook up an Xbox or a PS5 controller and it works seamlessly. It is so easy to set up and pair and get going. And it's just unfortunate that not all the games support it. So overall, just to kind of summarize things up here, really great service overall. The pricing, especially if you lump it into your Apple One subscription, really, really great value. If you're somebody that's on the go and just needs something to play on the bus or during a commute, or if you're traveling, perfect. You know, on the downside, we still don't have that big killer app game for people to go, hey, you know what, you need to get this for this particular game because it's awesome. We need that still. So hopefully that will happen in the very near future. Another thing that I want to kind of briefly touch on here, guys, is that coming up next week, I have a big review that I want to do. And all I'm going to say, without spoiling it, probably I'm going to kind of spoil a little bit, is it is going to involve the device that I am recording on right now. That's all I'm going to say. So make sure and tune in for that next week, guys, and I will see you on the next one. HTM Tech is brought to you by Microplay, located at 265 King George Road in Brantford, Ontario, Canada, for all of your video game and collectible needs.
The girls with their nails done now.